The Muslims claim the Quran is the infallible word of Allah and there are no contradictions because it is a perfect book preserved on tablet in heaven. Surah 85 verses 21 and 22. But they claim that the Bible is corrupted and contains a lot of contradictions and they try to prove it. In this video, a Muslim student debates with Cliff on the internal contradictions of the Bible. Let us watch the video and I will give you my thoughts on the back end where I will show you how one creation account of Allah alone contains more than 8 contradictions.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said the first thing about taking a book as a proof for your belief. You said no internal contradictions. How well do you know this book? I got this from your friend the other day. It's the Bible for all of you who don't know. I don't know which version it is. I don't know who's writing, who decided what to put it in here. John, we'll read John 1:17, 18. Do you know this one? I'll read what it says here. It says, no one has ever seen God, but God is the one and only who is at the Father's side has made him known. Right here, it says, no one has ever seen God, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You believe that? You take that? You want to read it? That's your book. This is what you take.
You bet.
Right here, same chapter, John 5:19.
Right.
Jesus, it says here, Jesus gave them this answer. I tell you the truth, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can do only what he sees his Father doing. No one sees, he only does what he sees. Internal contradiction. So then this book has internal contradictions. Can we agree on that? Oh, you don't say yes or no answers. What do you say about this internal contradiction?
One of the basic principles of interpreting any book is you have to read in context. And obviously, when you read John chapter 1, the main point is Jesus is God in human form. He begins.
But then,
ma'am, am I allowed to answer you or not?
But you're not making sense. You say the same
well,
thing
then why are you
over
wasting
and
your time
over
standing here
again?
talking to me if I'm not
Because look
making
at all
sense?
these people here who have questions. There's
Fine, then why don't you let me go on to other people? If I don't make sense, ma'am, why do you waste your time?
Why am I going to let you misguide them with your misguidance?
Oh, I see.
Sit here and
so
use
you have to
logic
sort of be a
understand
parasite
it.
who comes in here and just feeds off the people who are listening to me talk?
Absolutely, why not? You've
Well,
already
that's
made a
pretty
fool
sad.
of yourself here anyways.
Why, that's pretty sad.
I'm
Why
not
can't you
gonna
just
own
be
to
open
you.
and honest and have an honest dialogue?
Let me explain this.
Yep,
Go ahead.
okay.
Explain this.
Thank you.
Okay.
John chapter 1. John begins with the words, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Crystal clearly, John 1:1 is stating the deity of Christ. The word there is Christ. The Greek word is logos. Obviously, by reading John 1, you know he's talking about Christ. Obviously, he's hearkening right back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, which says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. John is taking that and putting it in Greek. John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Nobody has seen God. I haven't seen God. You haven't seen God. But the claim of John is, and the claim of Jesus is, that he is God, revealing himself in human form. That's clearly, unmistakably what John 1 is teaching. And you don't have to have a PhD in New Testament. Just read it yourself, and you'll figure that out.
John. It's both John. I didn't flip to even a different chapter. It's 2 pages away. Both John saying, one saying no one sees God, the other one saying Jesus sees God. Is it saying Jesus sees himself? Is this something that everyone who reads the Bible
that's exactly
takes
right.
as their
Jesus
own
is
are
claiming
supposed
to be
understand?
God, revealing himself in human form. That's his claim.
And he sees himself.
No, you're
Why
not
would
God.
John write that?
You're not God.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Well, if you die and rise from the dead, I will listen very closely to
Why
everything
is
you
that
have
the
to
only
say.
Why is that the one thing that you take? Why
Did
don't
you
you
see
take
George Washington inaugurated first president of the United States?
Other people did. I trust that.
Good, and other people saw Christ die on a cross and they saw him risen from the dead.
But they have internal contradictions.
No,
within
there's
their
no
same
contradiction
chapter.
there. We human beings do not see God, but when God chose to become a human being in Jesus Christ, obviously Jesus knew the Father very, very intimately, very, very well.
When we examine the first revelation regarding creation, one can clearly tell no other book has a glaring contradictions as that of the Quran. So I'm going to discuss 3 independent creation events by Allah. Number 1, the creation account of heaven and the earth. Quran 2:29 says the earth was created first and then heaven. And Quran 79 verses 27 to 30 says Allah first constructed the heaven and then the earth. Now, point number 2, the number of creation days. Quran 7:54 says, Allah took 6 days to create the universe. The 6-day creation account was taken from the Bible. Quran 41 verses 9 to 12 says, Allah took 8 days to create the universe. Looks like there was an error in copying from the Bible. Creation account 3. What was man made from? This single creation, even that is, what was man made from, contains 8 contradictions. I will give one by one. 1. Man was created from congealed blood. Surah 96 verses 1 and 2. This is unscientific. Congealed blood cannot create anything, but it creates disease. Point number 2. Allah created man from water. Surah 25:54. Point number 3. Allah created man from dust. Surah 30 verse 20. This narration was copied from Genesis 2:7. Point number 4. Allah created man from sounding clay. Surah 15:26. Point number 5. Man was created from mixed seed. Surah 76:2. Point number 6. Man was created from small seed. Quran 16:4. Point number 7. Allah created man by the word be. Surah 3:47. The expression be was copied from the Bible. The expression be occurs 15 times in the book of Genesis. Point number 8. Man was created from nothing. Quran 19:67. However, Quran declares in Surah 482 that there is no discrepancy or no internal contradictions in the Quran. One can observe how Muslims attempt to hide the real corruption and dismiss any contradictions in the Quran as if trying to hide a pumpkin under a few grains of rice. This clearly shows that God does not make mistakes and the Quran is not made by Allah but involves human authorship. Jesus said, "Know the truth and it shall set you free." If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.